Now, we've never planted in plastic before because I've been against plastic. This year I'm for plastic. So then what are we planting now?
Summer squash, I think, and cucumbers.
Woo! I'm so excited here. And yesterday we had a pretty good melt.
Yeah.
But still, there's a foot of snow out here.
Welcome to another winter day.
We couldn't pick them fast enough.
I know.
If you missed a day, they'd end up getting your big, fat, bitter ones.
We're out of the one thing that every farm needs to have on hand at all times, and that's 2x4s.
Oh, I thought it was beer.
So I am out now in the high tunnel today. We never got to planting yesterday, but we're going to get her done today. So I'm working on the kale and Swiss chard. I've mentioned before we plant kale and Swiss chard in the same bed. We usually plant about 25 to 30 feet of Swiss chard on one end of the bed. And then we have 6 varieties of kale. Each of them probably get, about 12 feet of space. So what I'm working on right now is we've always done our spacing for our kale 12 inches and 3 rows per bed. What I have found over the years is that the row in the middle doesn't produce very well. I think it just gets too much shade maybe from the outside. It may be different if we're using black plastic because it may help keep the heat in and help them grow. But what I'm going to do different this year is I'm going to plant kale only on the outside, 2 rows, and then I'm going to plant Swiss chard down the center and see what happens there. Also, I will plant the Swiss chard at the other end like I always do, but I'm going to have extra Swiss chard, so I'm just going to give it a try and see what happens. The other difference is these are the quick plant fabric from Farmer's Friend, and these are the 10-inch on center holes. So it's not the 12 inches that we usually do for the kale. It's a little bit shorter distance. So that's another reason I'm not going to plant out the center hole. Although looking at these, it looks like more than 10 inches, but I might be wrong on that. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and get started planting. We plant 6 varieties of kale. We do a dark boar and a red boar. We do white Russian and red Russian, and then we do 2 dinosaur style kales, one red, one blue, or one red, one blue or purple, and one green. So we have dazzling blue, and then I think black magic is the other one. So anyway, that's what I'm up to this morning. Now, we've never planted in plastic before because I've been against plastic. This year I'm for plastic. Yes, sometimes I swap sides. I'm allowed to change my mind, right? All right, here we go. The nice thing about the plastic with the holes is I don't have to think about my spacing very much. I can just drop these guys right in because the spacing is already determined. I'm wondering what other people do because it's clearly hard to pull the soil back around the blocks. Do you just make a little hole and set the blocks in and not pull the soil back? Before we plant, everything gets a very thorough watering. my favorite days on the farm are transplant days because you go from empty garden beds to a garden, and it's a lot of fun. I like those days. So today, that's basically what we're doing. What did we do this morning?
We are planting sweet chard
And kale.
and kale. Yeah.
So we got that whole bed is planted all the way down. We plant kale 4 times a year. I would like to be planting it less. The problem is because we don't fertilize and we don't do a lot of what other farms do, I don't think we get as good of production as we probably could get. So we're going to try some different things this year. Of course, we're trying it under plastic to see if that helps out, to keep the weeds down and to allow them more space. What else did you plant?
Carrots.
Yeah, we got our first carrot planting. And so we planted Ya is the variety that we plant early like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should have paper potted them and tried it out, but we didn't. We seeded. And it is so hard. Carrots are so hard.
To weed it.
Yeah, the weeds just take over. And if you have grass in there like we do, you pull up that grass and that root just takes out half of your, carrot bed, which is obnoxious. But we're trying it again, and this bed was fairly weed free, so hopefully.
I think it'll be left weed this year, but who knows?
Yeah. So then, what are we planting now?
Summer squash, I think, and cucumbers.
Woo! I'm so excited. We plant ours very early. They don't necessarily take off very good right away, but usually by the time the heat kicks in, they're ready and they start to take off pretty good. And we like to have summer squash and cucumbers really early at market. So maybe end of May. A few times I think we've had cucumbers end of May. Summer squash, just because nobody else has it. It's the best time of year to sell summer squash if you can get it early. So we're trying an early variety of zucchini, which is called Maverick. And then we're doing Golden Glory, which is a yellow variety. So we mostly do zucchinis. People really want zucchinis. I think Golden Glory is a yellow zucchini, but people, they want their green zucchinis. And then for cucumbers, we're doing 2 varieties, Corinto, which we've grown in the past with very good luck early, and we're going to try that. And then we're also trying the General, which is our standard mid-season. And we didn't do it very early last year, but I wanted to give it a try this year. So we'll see how it does. So after this bed, we only have 1 bed left to plant in here, and that'll be this last bed here. And we're considering planting it out today. I don't know. We were going to wait and put peas in it, but we have cabbages and kohlrabi that are ready to go in right now. And so we may put down the plastic and just plant it out with what we have, because we can plant everything else once we put the plastic on.
That's going to be soon.
Farming is all about being flexible, because we should already have plastic on all of our hoop houses, but we don't.
Yeah, no.
I think, though, after tomorrow we'll be able to put plastic on.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Another 50 degrees. Right now is 56.
It was 56 outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, the snow's melting quick, and thankfully everything's finally starting to dry out.
Yeah.
So, all right, the one problem we're going to have is we always plant our cucumbers and zucchinis in larger soil blocks. I like to give them the little extra head start. I don't think it's necessary, and this may change the way we're doing it, because these holes, I think, are too small for our soil blocks.
Yeah.
So I think in the future we're going to have to just cut back to our regular Johnny's 12 blocker. We use the 6 blocker for these. I really like it, especially with zucchini and cucumbers or any of your squash. If you have to leave it for weather or for, you can't get to it, it's so nice to have the bigger blocks. All right, let's do this. That is summer squash and cucumbers in the ground.
Yay!
It was definitely a little more difficult than we would have liked, just because of the size of the blocks. So I think now Jose is going to cover these because it is definitely not warm enough at night for these. It's warm enough now for like all the lettuces and stuff, all the cool season crops, but we're supposed to get nights down to 27.
Yeah.
And while these offer some level of protection, it won't be enough for these. We are in crunch mode this morning because the snow is melting very slow this year. And yesterday we had a pretty good melt.
Yeah.
But still, there's a foot of snow out here underneath where these hoop houses are. But we have to get planting. We're already a week behind now.
Yep.
And so by the end of this week, we have to have stuff in the ground in these. So Jose came out and, like an amazing farmer, shoveled snow away from each of the hoops. So we are going to try to get the plastic on this. The problem is it's supposed to get windy later today. It's already a little bit of a breeze, and if you've ever put plastic on one of these or handled large sheets of plastic, you know it is brutal in the wind. So we have a calm stretch this morning. We are going to try to get the plastic pulled on this one ASAP. And maybe, if the weather stays nice, maybe we can do 2 of them. We're really fast. We can get them done usually in a morning. So crunch time, at least one of these needs to get done this morning.
Let's go put one today because we should get snow tomorrow. I don't know how much it will be.
Oh, I think we're all right. All right, let's do this. Okay, so the wind has picked up a lot since we started just, 15 minutes ago, which we knew we were going to get wind. Luckily, it's coming in gusts, meaning we have downtime between. What we're trying to do now is just get the ends attached and get the sides down, because once the sides are down against the ground, at least the wind can't pick it up as easily. So we've got this end down. We're going to go tie the other end down, and then we'll quickly do the rope, and then I'll probably spend the afternoon putting some end walls on.
Yep.
All right, ready? We ran out of rope, so Jose went to grab another rope really quick. But the worst part's over. We have the rope over most of it. We have it tied down at least enough to hold the plastic on in case the breeze picks up any more than it already has. Then we'll spend a little bit of time this afternoon just getting the plastic put on the end wall. Once that's done and the wind can't get inside anymore, these things are pretty solid. So hopefully we can get that done. Of course, I have a massive blister on my heel. These are fairly new boots. And yesterday, walking around out here a lot, gave me a really nice blister. Fantastic. And of course, I don't have a Band-Aid way out here. We're way out past where I'm not walking back to the house till this is done. So, all right, Jose's gonna grab a second rope, and then we're gonna finish putting the rope over the top, and then, woohoo, it's all done. All right, we got that done.
Yeah. Now the wing is not too bad.
No, of course. So these 2 hoop houses that we have down here, the nice thing about them is they're on a pretty good slope. The bad thing is it's in a kind of a lower area on the property, so it gets pretty wet. So it'll be interesting to see. This is the first year we've taken them through the winter right here. So it'll be interesting to see how much water sits down in these, because we now have them set up permanently. So this is the spot for them. So it'll be interesting to see how much moisture stays in here once the snow melts out of these. Jose went to grab the end wall plastic. We're going to get the end wall plastic put on right now. Okay, so we got the plastic on that first hoop house this morning, which I'm so excited about. Jose and I just finished the end walls. I'm now in here helping out Betsy. Yay! And we're planting for market, which is the first planting we're doing for that, really, except for we've already started the peppers a while back because they need a lot more time. But we're doing, are we doing tomatoes? We're doing tomatoes this week, right? We did the peppers last week, some of them, some more. Yeah, they're already in the...
Yeah, and we got your fancy seeds.
Woo! Oh, yeah, where are they?
I think I tossed them probably over here.
Like, I didn't hear it?
Probably not here. I kind of have it a mess.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, so I want to say what we got.
A lot. It's like one packet of every variety.
I should not get... My mom got me on a pepper kick one morning, and I just went to town. Is that some seeds, too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay, so we got... I've been ordering from this Pepper Joe's for a couple of years now, and I really like them. I don't order our main planting peppers from them. This is kind of our fun, like, little extra things.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were from Iowa.
Oh, they're out of Iowa. Nice. Okay. That's her home state there. Okay, so I got a yellow lemon drop, a manzano, which I think looks like a little apple is why it's called manzano. A bode amarella, Phileas blue. I don't even know what any of these are. I'm going to have to look online. Fooled you! I think that one is a jalapeno, but a non-spicy.
Oh,
That's why it's called
nice.
that. Because I like the jalapeno flavor in some things without the spice. Like, it just has such nice flavor.
You have a lemon spice
Oh,
jalapeno.
those are the yellow jalapenos, and I'm super excited about that.
This
And-
one's a candy cane pepper.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they're like striped.
Okay.
Kind of like those yellow stripies I did
That
last
you did
year.
last year. Nice.
Okay, then we have some pepperoncinis, which I did a couple varieties of that. Picante Calabrese. None of these are super. I did like the medium to mild to mediums. I didn't do super
Nice.
hots. A fish pepper. I think that one's also kind of stripy if I remember. Oh, a pineapple ají pepper, which, yay! A Bolivian rainbow pepper, because everybody needs that. Wow, who ordered this many? Okay, and then we ordered a couple of paprikas. I ordered 2 varieties because last year we couldn't get the almas to germinate, so we were trying a different one. All of these are just about 10 seeds per packet, so it's just a couple of trays worth,
Yeah,
really.
I think the rest are the almas.
Oh, okay. So I did order a lot of almas. Because we want to do herbs here. We want to try doing paprika. So, okay. So there's a lot of almas in here. Okay, perfect. Nice. That's exciting. All right. Well, and we're going to do, this entire greenhouse is going to be filled with either peppers or our pickling cucumbers.
Yeah.
Because the pickling cucumbers do really well in here. We had really good luck with them last year. And
We couldn't pick them fast enough.
I know.
If you missed a day, they'd end up getting your big fat bitter ones.
And the thing is, they are so easy to sell by the bag full at market. Like, people would come to the table and they would be one of the first things to sell out. Now, granted, we have to plant a lot to get a lot, but it's just an easy way to make, if you think about market, if you can sell something for $50, it's so much easier than if you have to sell something for $5, because you can sell a lot less and make the same amount of money. So a bag of cucumbers is just a really convenient way to make $10 or $20, because sometimes we sell really big bags of cucumbers, and it's just nice to get them out of the way. And then the peppers, we want to be doing some specialty peppers and drying peppers now that we have the...
Drying them properly.
Well, you did a good job. It was my fault. She strung them all up for us last year, and then we hung them in here, and I should have moved them inside because
Yeah, it was a little too humid in here, so they kind of got smushy. They didn't dry quite fast enough.
So I think now this year we will, if we do that, we'll move them like into the germination room, or we'll put them into the dehydrator and let the dehydrator at least get them down to a good spot where then we can string them up when they're a little drier.
Right.
Because I hate doing the work. But the other thing is the end of the season is like hands up, don't even care. It's just
We gotta make it through the last week.
Yeah, you come in here in the spring and you're like, oh, whoops, didn't touch. Quick, hide those before Betsy comes back to work. So anyway, now she's just doing trays of tomatoes. We like to do our tomatoes in these square I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's just sometimes we do 60 at a time, and it's just convenient to have them in these square trays. And then we're doing some small 30 block for some other things, because when we start seeds for market, they get potted up pretty quick, and we don't have to like let them wait to go out into the field. So we do them in little tiny blocks, and then we can pot them up, which gives them more room to expand. And then if we don't get to them right away, they don't have any room to expand. So they stay a little bit smaller and don't get too big if we don't get to them right away. So that's what we're working on right now. And we just went through and talked about, because one of the things we always do bad on every year is the herbs. Like we never can figure out what we want to do. So we just went through and talked about it. And we're going to wait till next week.
Sounds good.
On herbs. All right. Back to work, everybody.
Welcome to another winter day. So yesterday was beautiful, just windy yesterday, and now we got snow, and very windy from the north. So in a high tunnel we have gaps between the doors, so it's a little gap, so the cold air is try to go inside. So, and we try to keep a little warm inside. So I go inside and try to seal in those little gaps with duct tape. I hope so the tape stay on, because the metal is so wet. I don't know if it will be sticky. If not, later today I will be looking for another solution. But for now I think it will be okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's only right around 40 today, so
Yeah.
not real warm, but that sun is cooking things. We, been worried about that summer squash, and we went in there this morning, it was laying flat on the ground under its cover. It said, it is way too hot for even us, and it's not very warm.
No.
So today we ran to town because we're out of the one thing that every farm needs to have on hand at all times, and that's 2x4s.
Oh, I thought it was beer.
Oh, and beer. We needed that as well. But 2x4s really are an essential piece, I think, of what we do around here. Anytime we build anything, small, large, you need a 2x4.
Yeah.
So we slowly grab them off the stack as we need to build random things, and then pretty soon the stack's gone.
Yeah.
So we have to build several things this spring. We are going to build the end walls for 3 hoop houses because we built the end walls on 2 of them last year, and now we're breaking the one into 2. So we've got to do end walls on those, and then one other one that we need to do end walls.
Yeah.
So we have all that wood here. Then we are building hopefully a shelf in the trailer for starts.
Yeah.
Because that little trailer bounces all over the place, and sometimes I get to market and there are starts upside down. They're just like the dirt is out of the pots.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating, and the road is horrible sometimes between here and there. And driving on the dirt road slow is the worst. I try, but with the trailer, it seems almost the slower you go, the more that trailer bounces
Bam, bam,
real.
bam, bam.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'm just a bad driver. Could be. All right, so yeah, that's what we did in town this morning. What else did we do? Anything?
No, anything
No, we
else?
got pet food and stuff. Nothing interesting. The chicks look really good. I just went in and checked on the
Oh,
chicks,
yeah.
and you said they're doing really good. Yeah, and we are not going to quite have greens for this weekend like we were hoping for our members, but I think by next weekend, definitely spinach and bok choy,
Oh, yeah.
baby bok choys. They're looking really good. They're just about there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get this wood unloaded, and then I might move some starts back and forth. It's not very warm. We don't have any space in the greenhouse, but I think what we decided is tomorrow we're gonna plant the peas, and then on either side of the peas plant some spinach to try to fill up that last bed in this high tunnel. We've been debating on whether to do the cabbage or to do the peas.
Yeah.
But I think we want to get some trays moved out because we need space. So if we do the peas and some spinach, that'll help.
That'd be great.
And then the snow is almost melted in that.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
Yeah, and so once that's melted, we can move some trays out there so they're ready to be planted when we're ready to go. Tomorrow morning's looking like it's going to be windy, but we need to get the plastic on these extra hoop houses. So as soon as we get a morning that looks good, we'll probably get that done too.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Thursday, huh?
Yeah, it's Thursday the 17th.
It can be between maybe Friday or Saturday.
Well, I'm not here Saturday, so it'd have to maybe be Sunday. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We got to get that plastic on though to get that soil warming up in those, because the snow is still not gone.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this done.
Good morning. Today is what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Wow. And it's beautiful here inside. At least here inside. Outside is beautiful too. It's very sunny, but also it's windy. A lot of wind from the south. I guess it's the time when the wind start pushing from the south. But I think tomorrow is gonna be changed again, so the weather is gonna be a little crappy. But anyway, so today I will working here. I will working on the last bed. I will transplanting the peas and maybe spinach. Yeah, spinach. So that's gonna be my little project for today, and maybe later today I will do another couple things. Maybe I will show you, maybe no. Still windy outside, but I finished my job here, so now this greenhouse is full. We don't have more room here. So I did spinach and peas. Yeah, so this is the first time we're gonna try to do an paper transplanting. Paper pop, something like that. Okay, but anyway, right now I am waiting because the soil is a little dry, so it looks good. So we'll see. All right. Anyway, thank you, and see you tomorrow.